At this moment that he knew, he fucked up.
Because the button wasn't pressed.
What?
So we're gonna have to use those audios.
You said you learned off the first one, didn't you? First experience. You obviously did different with the second one.
I did.
Like my kid's mum hit me literally yesterday with something. It was like, do you think she don't see what you do with your son that you can do with her? Jeez. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, nothing to say. And he said similar on the target. No, he said nothing, but we'll get to that. And I was a bit gobsmacked. I've got an answer and a response. I'm more pro, I'm more experienced. Obviously.
It still took you.
But it was like, shit, I didn't know it was that obvious.
Right.
But she said that to me. Kind of like, yeah, you came on his first day of school. It didn't hurt me still, but I'll put it on camera, whatever. You came round in the morning before his first day of school. Do you think she doesn't know that you didn't go to come round to the house before her first day of school? I had nothing to say, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, that's the bad experience, and I'm a bit better. I know better. I'll do better now, innit? So I'm gonna come round on his first day of school. I kind of missed yours. What do you think about the comparison in terms of? Because you said one of them told you, bro, you spend more time with X, Y, and Z than you do with me.
Yeah. I told me, I said that to me, innit?
Really?
I spend more, I spend more time with over her, but it's just circumstances. But at the same time, it's gonna be
Naturally
growth, innit, as well. It's gonna be a bit.
You were a different person.
You're different.
Then.
Yeah.
You are now.
Because even between them, there's 5 years between them.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be it's gonna, and plus anyway, you know what? I consciously made a decision with him anyway because the start was different.
Right.
I wasn't around.
Okay.
Due to circumstances.
Right. Okay. Cool.
You know what I'm saying?
So that changed. So it's like I'm gonna make that effort because I'm not now in the household.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Got you. So that makes sense.
You know
That makes sense.
That might be the same with mine though.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I was gonna say because you were not in the same place again, not to out or air our business, but
definitely.
just with you were in a different place with the mother of your child. You were in a different place with her, and you were in a different space and place mentally, like you said with yourself.
Yeah, I know.
So you both made the effort with number two. Do you know what I mean? Second child to be like, I don't want to make the same mistake.
Because unfortunately, the first time round is always going to be different.
Who was that, bro?
One of the they're not.
First time round was the first time round.
You know what? That's what Danny said as well. Okay, in another episode, Danny said like even when they reach 29, it's still going to be the first time for you. Every age they reach, it's going to be the first time. Do you know what I mean? For the first one.
That's right. It's your first time with a 29-year-old. No, but come back to the mic for that one. Because I think that's a it's going to be so my daughter being when my son hits 15.
You've already experienced.
I've experienced the 15-year-old, but I haven't experienced the not 15-year-old. But you have, and I haven't experienced the 15-year-old alongside the now 18-year-old, which she'll be 18 now. So there's not ever going to be a situation where I've been doing this for a while now.
No, it's
but for me, there's going to be a crossover, isn't it? It's going to be a point. Well, for me, the point where it balances out, and it's the same because whether it's 26 or 19, they're adults now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It becomes the same. It's not one is 26 and I act 26. And this one's 19, I act 20, I act 19. They're just adults. It's
you mean for you, it's just you're still. That's true. But what he's saying is that they are going to be different. Do you know what I mean? Like
one might be in like relationships now. That's new to you.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. But that's what I'm saying. Once you get to once Frog went past like 16,
I know 17, what he's saying. I know
that was it.
He's saying that all of that stuff that can happen. It's going to happen now they're past that age.
That's it.
So he's not seeing it as, right, it's different with her, it's different with him. It's like, no, this is what you do. This is what adulting is. This is what adulting is. So I'm not seeing it as, that's actually a good way to look at it because then it allows you to not start getting yourself mad.
Right.
If something happens, you can just go, well, this is your reality. How do we move forward to help you with your reality? Rather than me starting, bro, I've never dealt with this before. What is that?
It's literally two adults now.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
I do actually get what you're saying.
And it makes it easier that way because now you're just dealing with them based on their scenario, which is I'm in the world and I'm navigating the world at the best I can, and you're gonna have to try and help them navigate.
That right there is a typical way of how men read those. That is an analytical way of dealing with it. That's exactly what he said. It is
emotion out of it.
That's exactly every man. You just that right there is why you're here.
Straight up.
And the fact that you're the king of analyzing and thing, like that's what you've done. That's like your superpower. You actually just gave myself and Danny like a superpower as well, because for me, I can analyze things and I can, as most men can, and a favourite word of my boy Hanny, compartmentalize. He loves that word. And most men can compartmentalize. I'm not going to try to give you the opposite definition, but basically it means to just take the emotion out of things, to see things for how they are. So this mic is this is that, this sort. There's not, yes, they will connect and become a nice, comfortable space, but ultimately, I can separate each string, compartmentalize.
That's a great word.
And it is. It really is a good word. But that's exactly what you just described.
That's exactly what it is. Because if you start adding the emotion to everything as, this is my daughter, this is my son, she is this age, he is this age, it just confuses everything.
Wow.
Start throwing everything all over the place.
It's true though. It's true. But then, again, what it is, I feel for some people, it's like, for women, I think they're not arguing, but the question would be, but how do you do that? How do you get to that stage of taking that when all I can feel is that? Because that's what it is. They're like, but it is my son. It is much. Like, how do I take that emotion up? Like,
well, you know what? I tell you one thing. I tell you, this is a quick situation. Like, almost like it's like when you come to this realization, it blows your mind.
All right. This is why Hunts is in the building today.
This is what kind of blew my mind in the sense of like how you start to look at everybody as individuals. Yeah?
Right.
See, when I started to look at my mom and my dad as individuals instead of my mom and my dad, and realize that, wow, that man was just a man like me, cutting through. Okay, he met this woman,
right,
and such has occurred, and blah blah.
They
blah.
got their family in,
right?
All the things, all the results.
But yet, it was still a guy trying to think.
Right.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? On the real though, like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Bro, of
you
course
see,
I
when
do.
you start to look at things like that, and you start to say, wow, but hold on, man, just like he just tried to cut through, and like, it's nuts.
Like you just see it for what it is.
See it for what it is. Take away all of the little connections of, then it just makes you just go. It's like your mind. Well, for me, it's like your mind's like.
If I'm honest, bro, that's exactly what I do. That's exactly like I'm able to do that and still see the emotion, and still feel it,
of course.
but I don't become it.
Right.
I don't become the emotion.
Yeah.
I really don't. Yeah, I compartmentalize. I'm like, I feel that. I feel that, but I am not that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not it, innit? Like, and Stormzy spoke about that on a little something. His documentary with, I can't remember the man's name, so I'm not going to try and pronounce it. But he actually, you need to see it, bro. It's actually a really good one. But he spoke about that in terms of forgiveness and forgiving his dad.
Okay.
Yeah, because his dad obviously had left it, like whatever happened, had left and hadn't been around.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And like he had still seen him. He said, first time he put it in a song like, he ain't seen his dad for time, but this man, I see him still cabbing around the ends and still want to ask me for a bag. Do you know what I mean? So, and then he did another song where he's gone, like you just said, where he's now reached this, because that was before. Yeah. That's how he was feeling before and how he was holding on to it. And then he reached this space of where he was like, he just had to see his dad as a man.
That's right. Yeah.
And when he did that, he could forgive him.
Of course.
He was like, I'm not saying that what he did was right. I'm not saying it was wrong. I'm just because it did have an effect on me, my family, my mum. But yet he was just a man.
Yeah, he's an individual.
He's an individual, and he was just trying to do whatever he was doing, whatever he
thought it was.
And I can't fault him for that. I can't.
And now you're doing your own thing, trying to do your shit.
And he actually said that was what he was. That space of forgiveness, I think, is what he said, or I can't remember the exact words, but that space, that safe space.
Yeah,
he was looking for that from Maya.
Okay.
That's what he was like. He was like, that is what you look for, even the people them that were cussing him out, or he was looking for that from other people, like that same space that he felt he offered to his dad. I felt like that's what I needed to offer my dad. That's exactly what I was looking for from everybody else. I just needed them to just see me as a man, flawed, whatever, but just lining up.
What was before I say no?
What do you mean?
I thought you can say something.
No.
But yeah, I come to that realization as well, the same thing. Because during my little trials and tribulations, innit, I'm almost like, just forgive me, man. Or not saying those literal words, innit, but I'm like, fuck, I made a mistake or whatever. So once you start to go through it, you start to then clock like, right, but what about mine upstairs, innit? So I start to think of my mum and dad. And then it's the same kind of thing that you're saying. It's a bit like, well, like you are just a dude, though, innit? You're a dude just like me. You are.
Yeah. What? 1,000%.
Yeah.
And all
That is the realization.
That's the reality.
As well as I think what also helps, where most circumstances children are with their mum, what also helped was to say, but actually you're not perfect. That helped me as well.
As in about pops.
To clock. Do you know what?
Both of them.
In fact,
both
of them.
Yeah. That's what you said. That's it.
Yeah. When you realise, right,
you saw them as human beings.
Yeah, that's there you go. Yeah. Demons. Because I'm almost begging man to not see me in this bad light. Like, I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a bad guy. Right, there's no way I can then see mine as a bad parent because actually it's the same kind of. It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of.
But they will see you as a bad person sometimes.
until they hit their.
But that's okay.
No, sorry. Yeah. It's gonna
I've actually gone to the thing where like, no, it's cool. I mean, you've touched it before. It's like, no, you're right, because that action was bad. Well, I'm not a bad person.
You came in the house like a dickhead, so it's only fair and right for them to say, no, that was a dickhead move. But I hope they end up hitting that point that we've hit and say, but you was trying to cut you. Have you ever told I told my million miles my ex, you know, I know you love her, yeah? And I know she's been amazing to you.
Man said, but you know she's my ex, isn't it?
My ex, innit? Like, my mum is my dad's ex, and my dad is my mum's ex. What can I? Like, you better be nice to. Actually, we're quite good. We can say hello and whatever. That's a good ex. Some exes are a fuck move for me.
Yeah, I've had nothing. See, my example has been good because my dad has always been my mum's ex, and my mum's always been my dad. As far as I can remember. You understand? So, and all I've seen is
reality,
is exes. in terms of for my dad, you know what I mean? Like my second Mummy Nikki. You know what I mean? Like she was the only woman that married my dad. Or that my dad married as well, both ways. But like, if it wasn't for her, my mum always says that as well. If it wasn't for her, our family dynamic wouldn't have been what I see and view now, because it's very unorthodox, bro. We're the most unorthodox family on the planet. Like, it works. Because love is at the core. You understand? So, and my dad is at the core of that as well. Like, no matter what he's done and what he did, all of the romantic Murphy stuff that my dad did, all the stories my mom told me when she said she went in the club. I have to tell this story. She went in the club, yeah. She went into the club room, yeah. She said that the club was like, I don't know what club it was, but she said the club was just like, the entrance of the club was just one kind of corridor, and everyone just stood down the corridor. She said when she entered the club, she heard Den there. My mom's name is Barbara and Den. Yeah, it's just one of them things. Black people have plenty of names. You'll find out. Yeah, Delita and Barbara, not Barbara. Barbara, because that's how they say it. And all she heard, she said she just heard it go down the line. Then is here, then there. As far as she was concerned, she saw her dad down there, but when she got down there, my dad weren't there. Anyway, she stayed in the party, enjoyed herself, and then made her way home. Said my dad was in bed like like he wasn't in the club. My mom said, like, I know you was there. He said, "What's your bad babes? I'll be home. Yeah? Now that right there is classical Paul. Because when I told my dad, "Dad, you remember this story?" My dad said, "No, son, I don't remember it." I don't remember that.
He's sticking with
And,
it.
nah, and guess what? Even if my dad remembered it, he's sticking to it. But knowing my dad, he don't. Okay. But that's been my dad. He's been that ladies' man from what day. But no matter what, he's always been here. So even though that's him, and to some degree, there's some of that in me, do you know what I mean? I didn't want to follow it to the full example, but at the same time, he's always been present. Whenever he was, and he's especially present with his grandkids and us now, and I respect that. Do you know what I mean? And he's always, and my mom and all the women that's been in his life in that way have always had a good relationship with him. And because of that, the kids haven't suffered.
That's it. He done what he could, isn't it?
He done what he could, but he also picked the right woman that never. My mum always said that she wasn't the woman to do what Mummy Nikki did. Mummy Nikki had us under that one roof, right? She'd call us in, she'd go find my big brother if he's out on the road, pull him by his earlobe rig by and say, "Bring your box by this." You know what I mean? She was that mum. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I've always had that example. That's why for me, it's like, it not working out or it working out don't faze me. Because like you said, we're all human. And I see that everyone in my life has been human, and no matter what, we made it work. There's love. Like, we're still a family. So regardless of whether my mum and dad are together or my dad is with Mummy Nikki or he's with Mummy Saw, whoever he's with, like, no disrespect, it's irrelevant. Because we're a family. And we're going to find a way to make that family, you know what I mean?
So that's pros and cons to everything, isn't it?
You can't get away from it.
Everything. That's amazing who he is, isn't it? That's it. As long as we're doing the right, as long as we're leading with love, then can I even say that goes as far as grandparents as well. Of course. I've heard lots about my granddad. Do you get what I'm saying? I've heard lots, man. I've heard lots. It's a lot of you got a lot of sisters, homie. You got a lot of sisters, homie, man. It's like, and women are a bit different to man. There's a lot of sisters.
Well, this is it. We're all, as I said from the beginning, we're all gonna experience different things, regardless if you're all under one household, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
All under one roof, and everyone's experience is gonna be different.
Yeah.
So it's
very true. So but I've got to say what I was gonna say on that. I have to. Like I brought him up. Yeah. I was gonna say, cool, man. I was gonna say that's why I put the back of that. Anything that I have or haven't heard, I've always said I need to get out there, which I haven't yet, and I don't know if I will. I need to get out there and have my own conversation and have my own face to face. That could even go with yourself. None of you can tell me nothing because I need to. If he hasn't done me wrong, then how the fuck are you going to tell me anything or try and convince me or whatnot? So it's the same kind of thing. Yeah? I can see this person as a person. Of course there are mistakes, but you're gonna fucking tell me about the mistakes all day long, pound it into my head or whatever. It's impossible because I'm very clear and aware of this is a human. That's it.
But you know what? Even saying that, all right, look, this is how I interpret
what he just said.
Yeah, just what he said.
No, we always need a roundup from what I say. We make that clear with this show. That's why Dwayne's here.